Welcome back to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into one of the most incredible survival stories in the entire natural world. We are heading straight to Antarctica, which is, hands down, the absolute coldest, most unforgiving environment on Earth. We're going to unpack the fascinating secrets of how penguins manage to not just survive, but actively thrive in this extreme freezing cold. It's basically a masterclass in biology. And as always, we're going to break it all down step by step. Okay, let's dive right in. We've got a great roadmap today, starting with the extreme challenge of standing on ice. Then we'll unlock the mystery of their blood vessels, check out their natural winter jackets, look at how they huddle for warmth, and wrap it all up with a quick summary. Let's get to it. So, Section 1, the Standing on Ice Challenge. This is literally the ultimate survival test. I want you to really picture this for a second. How many minutes do you honestly think you could stand totally barefoot on a solid block of ice? Seriously, think about it. Maybe a minute? 2 if you're incredibly tough? It's just a painful, uncomfortable thought, right? But penguins, they spend their entire lives walking and standing on pure ice, and somehow their feet never freeze. It's a complete biological puzzle. How in the world did they do it? Which brings us to Section 2, the blood vessel mystery, where we actually unlock this barefoot secret. Now here's the catch. Unlike the rest of their body, penguin feet are totally bare. They have absolutely no feathers on them to keep out the cold. So imagine what's happening inside their legs. On one hand, you've got this warm blood flowing down from their super insulated, furry bodies, right? But at the exact same time, you've got freezing cold blood trying to flow back up from those bare feet touching the ice. If that freezing blood just shot straight back up to the penguin's heart, well, game over. Their internal temperature would totally tank. So a mechanical intervention is absolutely crucial. Enter this brilliant biological hack we like to call the magic touch. Here's how it works. Step 1, the warm blood flows down. Step 2, the cold blood flows up. But step 3 is the real game changer. These blood vessels don't just, pass each other by. They literally wrap tightly around one another. Because they're physically touching, heat actually transfers directly from the warm vessels going down into the cold vessels coming up. It's basically a built-in internal heating coil. And the result? It is absolutely incredible. The blood flowing back into the penguin's core stays nice and warm. By the time that blood from the freezing feet makes its way back up to the rest of the body, it's already been pre-warmed. It's this flawless, self-contained system. The core stays totally safe, and the feet get just enough warmth to keep the tissue from freezing. Honestly, nature is amazing. Okay, so the bare feet mystery is solved. But what about the rest of the penguin? Let's hit Section 3, the natural jacket. This is all about their built-in winter wear that keeps them so toasty in the first place. Now, really quick, let's get our scientific terms straight. What we're looking at here is a structural adaptation. Basically, these are physical features literally built right into the animal's body. The penguin isn't actively choosing to put these on. It's just pure anatomy designed to beat the harsh environment. So, what makes up this natural jacket? Well, first off, they have these incredibly dense, completely waterproof feathers. Second, their bodies secrete a special oil coating that covers those feathers, basically creating a force field so that freezing ocean water never even touches their skin. And third, right under that skin, a thick, thick layer of fat. If you think about it, it's exactly like throwing on a heavy thermal sweater, that's the fat, and then zipping up a heavy-duty waterproof windbreaker right over it, the oiled feathers. It completely traps their body heat inside. But sometimes even the best winter coat and the coolest blood vessels aren't quite enough when Antarctica really turns up the dial. That brings us to Section 4, warmth and huddling, how they survive the most terrifying storms together. Notice the shift here, though. We're moving away from structural adaptations and talking about a behavioral adaptation. This is all about the specific actions or behaviors an animal performs to protect itself. It's no longer about how their body is built, but rather what they actually do with those bodies to ensure survival. When those brutal, freezing Antarctic winds start howling and the winter storms roll in, penguins don't just stand there alone to freeze. They execute this massive, highly coordinated behavioral defense strategy. They gather in huge, tightly packed groups, literally thousands of them standing shoulder to shoulder. By doing this, they create this giant collective shield. The birds on the outer edge take the hit from the wind, while the birds in the middle share all that trapped radiant body heat. It's the ultimate teamwork strategy against an environment that's actively trying to freeze them out. We have covered some awesome stuff today. Let's move into our last section, final exam keys. This is your quick survival summary to lock it all in. All right, let's break down the cheat sheet. First, the blood vessels in the feet, that's a structural adaptation, and its function is an ingenious heat transfer system. Then, the dense feathers and thick fat, also structural, and designed to trap precious body heat. And finally, huddling together. That is a behavioral adaptation, functioning as the ultimate wind protection. Next time you think about penguins, just picture these three core strategies working in total harmony. Which really leaves us with this one final thought. We've just seen the mind-blowing, highly specialized lengths an animal will go to just to conquer the most extreme freezing conditions on the planet. But nature is all about balance and variety, right? So if the penguin adapted to the coldest place on Earth, what kind of secrets are hidden by animals living in the exact opposite extreme? Think about the scorching, waterless desert. How do those biological rules flip completely upside down? Hold on to that curiosity, keep asking those big questions, and I'll catch you in the next explainer.